Title: At her engagement, my parents gave my sister $1.2 million in shares. I got a coffee maker at my wedding. That night, I listed every forgotten sacrifice and left my mother speechless. Start: I didn't plan to speak that night. I only planned to watch, quietly, like I had my entire life, until the moment they forced my silence into something sharper. The hall was lit with warm chandeliers, gold everywhere, and applause still hanging in the air when my father placed the polished wooden box in my sister's hands. She opened it like she already knew what waited inside. Shares, $1.2 million worth. The crowd gasped for her, not for me. My mother wiped tears like she'd just married off a princess. And there I stood, same blood, same parents, remembering the last time I'd received a gift from them. My wedding. A coffee maker, not even the expensive kind. My mother had handed it to me like it was generosity. Practical, she said with a proud smile. I smiled too. Not because I was grateful, because even then, I knew I would remember. Tonight just confirmed it. People love to say parents don't choose favorites. Mine didn't just choose one, they invested in one. My sister, Layla, was the fragile one, the one who needed extra tutoring, extra allowance, extra everything. I was the strong one, the dependable shadow who didn't complain. They called it trust. I called it delegation of burden. I was the child who filled forms, the one who drove my father to appointments, the one who slipped money from my part-time jobs onto the kitchen counter when bills were tight. I postponed college once so my sister wouldn't fall behind. I tutored her through half her courses. I shielded her from consequences she earned. I did it quietly. I assumed someone, someday, would remember. They didn't. The betrayal wasn't the shares. It was how naturally they erased me. After the applause died, I overheard my mother whisper to my aunt, "We had to give Layla something big. She deserves it. She's the real future of the family." The real future. I stood inches away, invisible by tradition. My aunt asked, "What about your older one?" My mother laughed. Laughed. "She's fine. She works. She manages. She doesn't need anything from us." That was the moment something shifted inside me. Cleanly, quietly. The kind of shift you don't recover from. I wasn't angry, not immediately. I just felt the cold shape of truth settle into me. They didn't think of me at all. But I think. Better than them. Sharper than them. And unlike them, I remember everything. Revenge doesn't start with rage. It starts with accounting. That night, while they danced, I went home and opened a blank document. At the top, I typed, "Debts they forgot." I listed every sacrifice. Every semester I paid for Layla. Every loan I co-signed for my father. Every medical bill I covered for my mother. Every hour I worked overtime so the family wouldn't drown. Every inheritance document they made me sign temporarily when my grandparents died. They thought I forgot. I remembered each signature. Over the next months, I collected quietly bank records, screenshots, email confirmations, receipts they assumed I didn't keep. I spoke to a lawyer, discreet, efficient, expensive. I explained everything, not emotionally, just factually. He looked at the files. He looked back at me. "You know," he said, "this is enough to restructure the entire family estate." I nodded, because I already had. Step 1, I froze the joint account my name was still legally tied to, an account they used freely because they thought I wouldn't notice. My father tried to withdraw money 3 days later. I got the notification. The panic was instant. Step 2. I removed myself as guarantor on the loan my father had taken under my credit score. Legally, he had 30 days to refinance or default. Step 3. I filed a claim regarding the inheritance my grandparents left for both grandchildren, which mysteriously ended up solely under Layla's name for convenience. It wasn't convenience, it was fraud. My lawyer made sure the court understood that. Step 4, my favorite, I prepared a letter for my mother. Not emotional, not pleading, just an invoice. Every contribution, every payment, every favor disguised as duty, itemized, dated, totaled. They owed me $486,600, not counting interest, not counting damages, not counting what the court would decide. This wasn't anger, this was collection. I didn't choose a dramatic moment, I chose a strategic one. A quiet Sunday lunch where they expected me to eat, smile, and serve myself last like always. My mother asked, "Why haven't you been visiting?" I placed the envelope on the table. My father frowned. "What's this?" "Everything," I said, my voice steady. "Everything you think I forgot." My mother opened the first page, skimmed it, turned pale. This can't." Her voice cracked. "This is unfair." I finally looked her in the eyes. "Unfair? You gifted my sister more in a night than you valued me in 30 years." Silence. Heavy. Exposed. My father tried to stand up, indignation ready on his tongue. I pushed the legal notice toward him. "Sit, read, or call your lawyer. Either works." The power shifted so quickly, I saw their faces change shape, fear replacing entitlement. Layla whispered, "You're ruining the family." "No," I said calmly, "I'm ending the illusion." The fallout was brutal, for them. My father refinanced late and paid penalties. My mother liquidated assets she'd hidden from me. Layla's engagement was postponed indefinitely once the court froze her inherited shares. They called me cold, ungrateful, cruel. Maybe, but I was finally something else too. Free. I didn't return to that house again. But sometimes I think about my mother's face when she opened that envelope. Realization cutting deeper than any insult I'd ever swallowed. She had raised me to endure. I taught myself to remember, and remembering was all it took to end them. I left without regret. Some debts are paid in cash, others in silence. Mine were paid in both.